Okay, you can't see me on camera this week, but this is David Graham with the WOF Sports Network, and we are here with Justin Price. Justin, last week in the Central game, you came out with a different strategy in the first half. Is that something that teams down the road can expect to see maybe, or are you just showing them something different to look at?
Well, we just felt, after analyzing Central and what their strengths and weaknesses were, we felt like the strength of their defense was their secondary,
right?
Which is also kind of our strength throwing the football. But we felt like we could take advantage of them up front a little bit, and also we felt that if we came out and kind of gave them something a little bit different and was able to move the chains a little bit, kind of keep the ball away from their dynamic,
right,
their offense, the Stinson kid, who could great running back, and I felt like we executed the game plan about as good as we could for the first 2.5 quarters.
Yeah.
We go in at halftime 0-0, but at the same time that we had 2 opportunities in the first half, I felt like we should have probably drove in and scored. I think we got down to the 35 or 30-yard line twice in the first half, moving the chains, which was good. We just didn't have any points to show it. So then the second half came and kind of stuck with that. But again, we drive down. A couple of times we would start inside the 5-yard line. They had some good punts. And field position is just so important in that type of game when you want to slow it down.
Right. So now you're going into halftime tied up, and what's going through your mind right there? I mean, what are you telling your team in the locker room?
Well, we told our team kind of what our game plan was going into it, that we were going to keep them away from in the first half,
yeah,
come out the second half, and then start running a little bit more of our traditional offense.
Right.
And but we were going to try to keep it, as long as we were tied or down by 1 score, we were going to try to run the ball a little bit more than we usually do.
Yeah.
But in the second half, I thought we came out and, our defense played great all night long. You're talking about we held the Stinson guy to 16 yards in the first half, I think 100 yards for the whole night.
Right.
And our defense played well all year. I'm very pleased with them. Having Jordan Kindred back last week really helped on those edges, and we didn't let those guys get outside of us. I think he had broke one run on us for 50 yards, and we knew that he would probably get 1 or 2 on us.
Right.
Going into the game, you kind of expect him to break 1 or 2. But other than that, we were there all night long. We ran out of gas a little bit at the end. We're only playing about 18 guys right now. We're young. Our junior and senior classes are kind of small. Our sophomore and freshman class are big the 2 years since we've been here, but our senior class, due to injuries, has gotten smaller. Our junior class is always been small, and we got some guys hurt in that class. So
yeah,
we just ran out a little bit of steam, but just proud of the effort those guys played with.
Now, your offensive line, they had a tough night the other night, it seemed like, watching the game, not holding their blocks and stuff. Have you guys going to work on that this week?
We are. The offensive line does a really good job, especially pass blocking, and that's kind of where we hang our hat on. So when we come out and run the ball, we the expectation's not as high for those guys because that's not what we do.
Right.
So, but at times I thought they did okay, but at times I thought that they didn't maintain their blocks and things like that. But those are things we'll continue to work on. How much we do that the rest of the year, I don't know. I think you look at it, the rest of our schedule, I feel like we should be able to throw the football a little bit better every week and kind of get back to what we normally do. This was just kind of a one-game thing, and just to kind of, felt like keep us in the game and give us a chance to win at the end, and it did.
And it did, yeah.
But we just came up a few plays short.
Of course, now the offensive line, they're used to the passing game, and they're used to Ethan getting rid of the ball at that point, so that's probably why they didn't hold their block.
Yeah, and that's right. But at the same time, you expect them to be physical and play 6 seconds at a time. Is what we tell them. Average play lasts about 6 seconds, and we just need them to be competitors and kind of do what they're supposed to for those as long as the play's going on. They'll continue to get better at that. I think that. I think when you play football, and you got to be mentally tough enough to really do whatever is expected that week, and whether it's pass block or run block. I'm proud of those guys because again, I think they've done a good job all year. The other night, Central's defense was very fast.
Oh yeah.
And we knew that, and we did it. I don't think we had any 3 and outs all night long, which is good offensively for us. And again, it's kind of been a theme for us all season. Is we've put up a lot of yards in games. We just not. As of yet, we've not really got the points to show it.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about that before the interview. You guys have, let's see, in this year right now, you guys have total offensive yards is 2,141, but you've only given up 1,469 yards. So you're moving the ball,
right,
but you're just not closing the deal.
Yeah,
and I think that comes with. Do you think that comes with inexperience? Like you got a lot of sophomores.
Yeah, and the key is we got a good senior class. The problem we run into is we got a lot of young kids at key positions. Our starting center, our starting quarterback, our starting tailback, 2 or 3 receivers, all underclassmen, and I think when you count on those guys to be your playmakers, and they've not had that experience, or they've not had the extra years in the weight room to develop speed and quickness and strength. It kind of hinders you a little bit on the offensive side of the football. Where you look on our defensive side, we only play one sophomore, and that's Trey Torres, who is about the 3rd leading tackle on our team. He's kind of ahead of the game a little bit, but Nick Bailey's played a lot of football. Shao, Slayton, we got a lot of seniors and juniors that have played a lot on the defensive side of the ball,
and so you got some experience over there.
Right, and on the offensive side, last year with Tuffy, he was a senior leader for us, and he moved the ball. Even though right now our offense statistically is a little bit better than it was last year, I think last year we took advantage more of of opportunities that we had. I think just because Tuffy was that playmaker we needed. We're still trying at times to find that guy that, when we're on the 20-yard line, 30-yard line about to score, can do that little bit extra and take it in. And we've got a bunch of guys that can do it, and we got to just make sure we give them opportunities to do it. And when we tell them all the time is when their number's called, you got to rise up to the call and make it happen.
You've got a toughie coming up tonight. El Hope Dawson Stadium. Powell comes into play now. They're the second place team in the district. What do you got for them?
Powell, the last few years has just really taken off over there.
Yeah.
Last year went to the state championship game. Their coach resigns. They get a new coach in, but kind of just kept the whole staff, and it's it's the same old Powell you've seen the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it's nothing really changed. They run the same offense, same defense. But the thing is, they're not as dynamic as they have been with the Mobley kid who's now at Kentucky and their quarterback who's playing at Austin Peay. So it's going to be a challenge, no doubt. But at the same time, I think that our kids can go in with a lot of confidence and also sit back and not a whole lot of pressure on us this week.
Right.
It's at home, and anytime we play at home,
on them, it should be
exactly.
But they have to win. They have to keep up with Oak Ridge.
Right.
You guys don't right now.
Right, and then you look at us, and I think we're one of those teams in this district that, if you kind of look at the bottom tier of our district, the bottom 4 or 5 teams, we're kind of the team that, every week's been in those close games. That's going in the right direction to keep climbing up the ladder in the district standings.
Right.
But so I think it's they're going to come here, and I know those coaches well. They respect what we're doing. They're going to come in here ready to play because they know they have to be ready to play, and that's a testament, I think, to our kids and the hard work they put in. But we just, as long as we come out, we execute, and we take care of the little things, and we move the football and score when we have opportunities, and we continue to tackle well and bottle up their good running backs and their good quarterback. Then I think we'll always have a chance in any game we play.
Any injury updates?
I think we're good on injuries. Also Jordan Kendra being back last week is good. We're still missing Dylan Taylor with a concussion. Just one of those things right now. We just want to make sure, he's a young kid, just a sophomore.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that everything's okay before we get him back in here. And I'm just excited. It's been fall break this week. Proud of the kids that have kind of stepped up and been here because it presents another challenge to get these guys here when you don't have school, and just ask everybody to come out and support us. And because again, we're all in this together. We're taking steps. Our record's not what we want it to be. Our expectation here is win, but it's going to get there.
Right.
And outside of the scoreboard right now, we're winning in a lot of areas.
Right. Well, Coach, we're looking for a great game tonight at El Hope Dawson Stadium, and we hope to see all the Cougar fans out there.
I'm excited.
And nothing else to add.
That's
Thank you
it.
for your time, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right.